right, Kevin, whenever you're ready, we can start the meeting.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and we'll call the meeting the June 3rd, 2020 City of Macomb Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. I'll call to order, Joanna, and roll call.
Chairman Weehart,
Here.
Miss Egler,
Here.
Miss Morrow,
Here.
Mr. Runzer,
Here.
Mr. Wallen,
Here.
Mr. Blackford, and Miss Bells.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thanks, Joanna. Our first agenda is to approve the minutes of August 21st, 2019. You should all have a copy of the minutes, and I would ask for a motion to approve.
Move to approve, and my compliment to Joanna for the longest set of minutes I think we've ever had for a meeting.
I agree. Do I have a second?
Second.
We all second it, okay?
Yeah.
Pick one.
That makes it official.
Okay, Joanna, did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, the minutes have been approved. New business. We have before us case number 2021. We have request to construct a 14 by 14 foot deck inside the 25-foot front yard setback at 1302 East Adams Street, located in an R2 single-family residential zoning district. Boy, there are a lot of minutes.
7 pages.
Just a little more information on that is that, yeah, a lot. See, the applicant, by right, the property owners in the city of Macomb may build a porch or deck. Maximum allowable encroachment for an open porch is 8 feet. The proposed porch is 6 feet more than the allowed encroachment. The applicant lives on a potentially limiting the available side yards available to other property owners. The neighborhood has several existing porches that would help the proposed deck to blend into the next.
You're cutting it.
We're not hearing you entirely, Kevin.
Would it help if
Krasniak, am I pronouncing that right?
It's Krasniak, that close.
would it help if I read some of the staff report? Is that coming through a little more clearly?
Yes.
Okay, Kevin, I think your audio is just going out a little bit on your end.
Yeah, you break it up a little bit. So.
Is that okay if I read it? I'm gonna take silence as consent.
Sure.
So Mr. Krasniak is applying for a variance to request a 14-foot by 14 deck within the 25-foot front yard setback. He is in an R2 single-family residential zone, so there is a 25-foot setback required. Porches or decks are allowed to encroach 8 feet into that front yard setback, so his proposed porch would encroach 6 feet more than the allowed by right setback. However, Mr. Krasniak does live on a corner lot and therefore does have less side yard space than is available to other owners in the same neighborhood. The neighborhood has several existing porches that would help the proposed porch/deck to blend into the neighborhood. And I'd like to go through some of the attached documentation, and then if you have any questions or Mr. Krasniak would like to add in, we can do so. We did receive a letter from the petitioner's neighbors, and on it, 3 of the neighbors did concur with the proposed variance. So again, 3 of the neighboring property owners have, in writing, supported the variance or proposed variance. And those people reside at 310 East Adams Street, 314 East Adams Street, and 12, I think it's 22 East Adams Street. But again, different neighbors supporting it. We did not get any correspondence opposing the variance, and we did get correspondence from 3 neighbors supporting the variance. If one could look at the zoning map, the property is less than a block away from a large multifamily development. I mean, you all know Prairie View, which is part of the Housing Authority of McDonough County. So this is not, while this is a single-family residentially zoned neighborhood, this is not a neighborhood that's very far from a variety of uses and buildings. Furthermore, if you look at the picture of the property, Mr. Kurzniak has a fairly well-maintained property. It is the belief of the Office of Community Development that there are other porches and decks in this area that would cause the deck to blend in, and it would not alter the character of the neighborhood. There is an existing porch there. It would just be enlarged, again, beyond the encroachment allowed by right. And again, if I could draw your attention to the variance findings of fact, all of the ordinance procedural processes have been met. The staff did not find that a particular hardship exists, but we did find that a practical difficulty exists in that 2 front yards and a house built less than 25 feet from the property line does create a practical difficulty in putting on a sizable porch. Property situation is unique. It's unusual as it is a corner lot. Again, just to draw attention to a couple more, the fact that he's on a corner lot and municipal code have set the setback at 25 feet is not caused by the owner. The property values in the vicinity would probably be affected in a positive direction by an investment in the area and not in a negative direction. And in terms of the quality of life and character in the neighborhood, a new porch would probably improve the quality of life and would certainly not negatively affect the quality of life for any of the neighbors in the area. And again, three neighbors did support that. So I just wanted to draw attention to those findings of fact that we did go over. And if there are any questions or Mr. Kurzniak would like to speak on the proposed variance, we can do so.
I would like to say things, if that's okay.
Yes.
Why we are wanting to do this is because our existing porch is actually sinking away from the house. So we would like to just tear it off and redo it, and make it a little bigger so we can actually use it for what it's there for. So we can enjoy the outside and watch your kids play in the yard and stuff like that. So, and the existing porch is actually within the 25-foot setback, is 23 feet from the street or from the property line. So I just wanted to point that out to everybody, that we all knew about that. So that's all I'd like to say.
And I would add that Mr. Kurzniak has also submitted a valid building permit with payment to the Office of Community Development. We have not processed that building permit, but he has certainly fulfilled all of the procedural qualifications that we would ask for a porch, minus the variance.
John, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to move. Yeah, all I could, right now is just ask if there's any questions from the members of the committee. Any comments? Yeah, Sally?
Is the deck to be built over the sidewalk that it's,
It will be over the sidewalk, but actually we'll be sitting kind of on top of the sidewalk. So we won't have to dig that far into the ground. We put 2 posts before the sidewalk and set the steps on the sidewalk. So kind of sit on the sidewalk and kind of not, you know what I mean?
no, I guess I'm not sure I know what you mean.
So,
There are steps up to the deck?
There will be steps up to the deck on 3 different directions because we have 3 sidewalks meeting one.
Yeah,
So, and the first posts that are next to the steps will actually be sitting on the sidewalk themselves. And the the center post will be in the ground. So, where we have 3 entrances, sidewalk to get on the new deck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there other questions from any members of the committee? Did we lose Rich?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
So, no, my only comment is that it looks like it needs some help. That one leg is sinking into the ground or,
Yes.
so,
And I've had to actually repair those steps a few times because they've actually separated from the deck itself. Because it's
well, my
sinks.
safety too then, so.
Yes.
Are there any other comments from committee?
I do have a question. It looks like to me that there's two sidewalks that are horizontal to the front of the proposed porch. So I take it one is the city sidewalk, which is closest to the street,
Yes.
and the sidewalk that will be covered is your personal sidewalk.
Yes.
I mean, you built that to get to the front.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but the city sidewalk will not be impeded.
No.
Okay, thank you.
No, the city sidewalk should be about 11 feet from the proposed structure, so it won't get anywhere near the city sidewalk.
John, you basically don't have gone over all the factors that are listed on the back page, correct?
Yeah,
Pretty much, yep.
I went over most of those, and so I would just ask if when the zoning board of appeals is ready to either, support the variance and make a motion for that, or the other way, if they would cite one of those findings of fact, then we just have a better legal standing. Again, that's just a procedural thing we're trying.
So you want me in a motion to address that, okay, right? Okay.
If there are no further questions.
Any further questions?
No,
Okay, I would at this time ask for a motion from the board.
I would make a motion to grant it. I don't have the list since it's on my iPad that I'm viewing you guys with, so.
One
but
of
I
the items
I
would be, as practical difficulty exists.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one.
that sounds good. Let's just go with that one.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Rich.
Okay, do I have a second to that?
A second.
I'll second that.
Okay, Johnny, can we have any further discussion?
Oh, sorry. Just procedurally, who seconded the motion?
I did.
Ron,
You guys want to know who it is? Ron. I seconded it.
Ron runs their second.
Sure.
Come on, you don't know my voice by now?
Sorry.
I heard
Hearing no
She does a
discussion.
fantastic job with the minutes, and we just wanted to make sure they would be correct.
No, I'm just in agree.
Okay, I would, at this time then, I'd ask for Joanna for a roll call vote, please.
Miss Morrow,
Yes.
Mr. Runzer,
Yes.
Mr. Wallen,
Yes,
Miss Bells,
Yes.
Chairman Weehart,
Yes.
Miss Egler.
yes.
So it's a unanimous vote, Matthew, to proceed, and if any further, any more communication with the zoning board, with the, with the community development office, you need to do that with John. Thank you very much for approaching the city and getting your permits and doing this the right way. And we wish you the best of luck on your project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just like to thank you for your patience, Matt. I know with COVID-19, it's been a longer process than we anticipated. I will sign the permit before I leave today, so if you'd like to pick that up tomorrow or have us mail it to you, just let us know about the details.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. This is kind of strange, but any public comment from anyone that might be on Zoom we don't know about? Hearing none. We move to any other business? John?
I don't have any new business at this time. There is another request for variance that'll come through soon. It's it's a fence variance, so we should have that shortly, but, so I would anticipate seeing you all again. I think at least for the foreseeable future, we'll probably do the next meeting via Zoom as well, so I appreciate your patience with the technology. And hopefully we'll all see each other in person sooner rather than later.
To adjourn?
I think Kevin just said the meeting is adjourned, so.
Meeting adjourned.
A quick question, John. Are you
Yes.
still collecting caps?
We are still collecting caps. Yes, I need to connect with my group. We have not met, so we are still doing so, but let me get back to you before you publicize. Go ahead and collect them, but before you shout from the rafters, please let me make sure that we're good to go.
I think you can take it to the library too, Sally.
Oh, is that
Can
right?
Can we have a motion and a second to adjourn before we do so?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, that would be good. So we can close this meeting.
I second.
Okay, who made the motion?
You did.
You did.
I can't make the motion.
Hey,
I'll
I
make the
motion
motion to
to,
adjourn.
I
Who
motion
gave me
to,
a first? Who gave me a first?
I did.
Okay, Una did. Do I need a second?
Second.
No, I don't care. Milton, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time.
Yep.
Close
No
enough.
problem.
All right, we sincerely thank you all for your time. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your patience with the technology. Have a good night.
Thank